spit in the face of the 5-time champions. Nobody spits in the face of the Dallas Cowboys, especially when you do it over in Dallas, Texas. You do that in Dallas, Texas, you get your ass kicked. I don't give a damn who you are. If you're from Tennessee, if you're from Miami, or if you're from New York, you step up to the Dallas Cowboys and we break you like a couple of fucking biatches, okay? Just like that. And as you can tell, yes, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan for life. Blue and white and silver till the end. That's how it goes with me. And winner of that matchup was Mr. Anderson. And now let's get to the conclusion, the last match, the triple threat match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Eric Young versus Austin Aries versus Bobby Lashley. Now, I didn't see it, but believe it or not, the winner of the match was none other than Eric Young. He still retained the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, and I was very surprised about that one because I was hoping for either Austin Aries or Bobby Lashley to win the championship. Personally, I think in a lot of people's opinion, they would love to have seen Austin Aries become champion one more time at Slammiversary. It would have been awesome. I would have loved to have seen, hell, I would have loved to have seen Bobby Lashley become champion, but it didn't happen. So it's still TNA World Heavyweight Champion, Showtime, Eric Young. Does he deserve it? You're damn right he does. How far will he hold on to the championship? We'll find out until Destination X in the next couple of weeks. We'll see what happens there. Now, let's see. There's one thing I got to bring up, and I want to bring it up right here, right now. This is not exactly an exclusive, but if you guys get an opportunity, go to TNAWrestling.com and vote. That's right, vote, because let me tell you something. The vote is on and it's all set. I went into my Facebook and my Twitter earlier today, and they're casting a vote on, I think, the shows for New York City and everything else like that. And now they have decided to put a vote together as to whether or not we should have 4 sides and keep it, or go 6 sides and take that. Personally, in my opinion, if TNA is going to go down, or if TNA is going to get back up into its foundation, I suggest you go to TNAWrestling.com or ImpactWrestling.com and vote, okay? And vote for 6 sides. And if Impact Wrestling is watching this episode of the Main Event Talk right now, I'm voting for 6 sides. You know why? Because here's the thing. When I started watching TNA Wrestling a long time ago, Impact Wrestling, TNA Wrestling, it was all about the 6 sides. It was all about the 6 sides of steel. It was all about the Ultimate X. It was all about being innovative. And that's what TNA Wrestling was. Had some great wrestlers, had some great talent that did everything they could. And what was so unique about TNA Wrestling was the ring itself. The moment when Hulk Hogan came right into TNA Wrestling, he turned 6 sides into 4, which absolutely sucked. And I think everybody can agree upon that. You bring 6 sides back, and I guarantee you business will probably pick up. It won't go up all the way, but it's going to at least come up to the standards that TNA Wrestling is. The only thing about TNA Wrestling that was different from the WWE was a 6-sided ring. So go to TNAWrestling.com and vote 6 sides, okay? Hashtag 6 sides. Main event is already voted in. So go there, and I promise you, we will get 6 sides back one way or another. TNAWrestling.com, vote 6 sides. All right, we got the TNA part out of the way. Let's talk about Money in the Bank. Coming up in 2 weeks' time. If you guys had an opportunity to see Monday Night Raw, oh my! You gotta feel for Vicky Guerrero. You gotta feel for Vicky Guerrero, because here's the thing. I've never cared much about Vicky Guerrero, but you gotta feel sorry for her. The fact that she has to go through all this crap and has to kiss up to Triple H and Stephanie McMahon just to keep her job with the company. How nice! And what was so bad? Okay. You guys probably saw Raw. If you guys didn't, let me give you an image, okay? Roman Reigns, right there, talking to Vicky Guerrero, being a sweet talker that he is, goes ahead, pulls this little crap on Vicky. Vicky starts sneezing on the coffee, or it looks like sodas to me. And then, I guess whatever Roman Reigns put on both sodas probably got them to, do something. So then comes a segment. Here comes Stephanie. Here comes Triple H. Triple H gets his stuff spilled, and Stephanie manages to keep her drink intact. And then during the interview, Stephanie McMahon is right here talking to Renee Young, sipping on the Coke. You notice that she's getting a little bit sweatier. You notice that the glare on her face and everything else like that. It's like, oh my God, what happened to Steph? My gosh, she looks like she haven't been in the air conditioner for too long. What the hell's going on with her? So she's drinking, everything's fine, and then all of a sudden she starts feeling weird and everything, and then starts to leave. Now, the first thing that came to my head when that happened, I'm thinking she probably went to the restroom and started, well, I mean, I don't know if it's appropriate for me to say it, but how do I put this delicately? She was sitting down. That's what she was doing, okay? That's what I thought. But then when we saw the segment, there's Stephanie in the restroom. We didn't see her just yet. There's Vicky Guerrero coming in. There's Triple H wondering, what the hell did you put in the drinks and everything else like that? Opens the door, and you know what? It's kind of a bad time when you're there eating and when you're there drinking and when you're watching Raw and you have to see that. You have to go to the bathroom right away, right? So what happens? Vicky Guerrero opens the door, and then Stephanie all of a sudden, well, I would love to give you a visual aid, but I really can't. And I know that a lot of people are not thinking about that right now. So let's not think about that. Let's just remember that the last thing that I remember at the very end of the show, well, at the very end of that segment, was that Triple H had let Vicky Guerrero be in charge of Raw for that one day. And well, I guess Roman Reigns must have had a plan or something, because he goes ahead. He wanted in the Battle Royal because, as you heard from the beginning of the show, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns were not going to be a part of this Battle Royal. But as soon as Roman Reigns entered, I said immediately that Roman Reigns would win the Battle Royal, and he pretty much eliminated every single person that he could, including Rusev. And let me tell you something. That, I can just see it now, and you can see it too. You see it right there in front of the camera. Roman Reigns versus Rusev. My God, two powerhouses going at it. And you got to admit, even though Rusev is with Russia, I think, he's one tough, badass dude. All right, everybody can boo him because he's from a different country and he's disrespecting USA. But you got to admit, he's a tremendous athlete. He is the super athlete, if you will. But him and Roman Reigns going at it, wow, that'd be something special to look at. But nonetheless, Roman Reigns threw Rusev off, and now Roman Reigns is a part of the Money in the Bank match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Now, let's look at the entire list, if you don't mind, okay? You got Sheamus, Alberto Del Rio, Randy Orton, Cesaro, Bray Wyatt, Roman Reigns, and, well, believe it or not, John Cena. That's the 7 competitors, I think. Let's see. I must be missing somebody, I think. Well, but nonetheless, I would talk about John Cena versus Kane, but I don't want to take up any of your time at this point because it was a stretcher match. It happened, blah, blah, blah. John Cena wins, no fucking shit, okay? Now, let's bring up a few things, including my predictions, my thoughts about what's going to happen for Money in the Bank. And here's my prediction. My prediction goes like this. Money in the Bank, you mentioned the guys. Bray Wyatt's in it. I could give you the list, but I don't want to go that far. But my prediction on that one is quite simple. I bet Roman Reigns. I know a lot of people want Roman Reigns to win Money in the Bank on pay-per-view, but in my head and other people's minds, it's not going to happen because the Authority, Triple H, is not going to allow that. So I can actually see Triple H interfering in the match and keeping Roman Reigns from going after the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Money in the Bank. But if Randy Orton believes in his mind that he's going to become WWE World Heavyweight Champion once again, I got news for you. There's one person in there that I think the world and everyone else is going to get a chance to see become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. And you know who it is too. It's not Daniel Bryan. It's not Daniel Bryan. But you see the list of people on there. There's one person that every person everywhere all across the world is, seeing for, looking at. And that person, you know who he is. He's the guy with the hat on, and he's the one that keeps singing that song. He's got the whole world in his hands. I would keep singing, but I don't want to overflow my talent on this camera. I say Bray Wyatt becomes the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Now, I want you to imagine this in your mind. I want you to think about this because, believe it or not, this will make Triple H and Stephanie happy. Yes, it is. But you know what's going to be badass about this? Imagine this, if you will. Bray Wyatt, the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Triple H and Stephanie are ecstatic that they got someone that is worth being WWE World Heavyweight Champion. But do you think Bray Wyatt is going to follow the leader? Follow the boss? I don't think so. Think about it. Bray Wyatt wins the championship, and Stephanie and Triple H think that they got Bray Wyatt in the palm of their hands, and they're going to make him do whatever it is they want to do and be the puppet master and play with Bray Wyatt all around. But you're talking about Bray Wyatt. He's going to play the strings. He's going to be the one pulling the strings on Stephanie and Triple H if he becomes World Heavyweight Champion. WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That's just my prediction. Okay? So anyone else that predicts anything else, from Cesaro to Sheamus to Alberto and everything else like that, you can put them all out the window right now, because Bray Wyatt will be the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. That's my prediction. And you want to know another prediction? Watch this. Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Prediction? Orale. That could happen. Let's move on to another prediction that I think will happen. Speaking of the Wyatt family, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper will have an opportunity at the Usos for the WWE Tag Team titles, and the Usos, I believe, will lose the titles to the Wyatt family. Can you imagine the power that the Wyatt family could have if they took the titles and they took the Tag Team titles, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship? They could have control over WWE, and there's not a damn thing that Stephanie or Triple H can do about it. Trust me. I see chaos, I see destruction, I see ratings going through the fucking roof if Bray Wyatt becomes champion and Eric Rowan and Luke Harper become tag team champions. Whew! That sounds sweet, doesn't it? Now, how about this for Money in the Bank? Another prediction. I think everybody will agree upon this. The ex-members of The Shield. On one corner, you got Seth Rollins, the guy that sold out, or bought in, if you will, to Triple H, going one-on-one against his former buddy in The Shield, the wild dog, the crazy lunatic known as Dean Ambrose. And that will be the most talked about match in Money in the Bank. I bet you that. Because you got two of the most talented superstars that you've ever seen before. Seth Rollins, who was also a former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, was also a former NXT Champion. A very talented superstar. You can hate him, you can boo him, you can tell him that he's sold out. But the dude is one talented son of a bitch. And speaking of a talented son of a bitch, let's talk about Dean Ambrose. Let's talk about the Wild Dog. Let's talk about the guy with the golden tongue in his hands. When he has that microphone, when he starts talking, when he starts yelling out everything that he says, it's usually true. You can talk about him being the next CM Punk, but let's be honest, that's already been done, and all we want is Dean Ambrose to speak